The driver of the pickup truck was transported to hospital with minor injuries. The collision is currently being investigated.
Meanwhile, 6 people were taken to hospital Thursday afternoon after a rollover at the Bells Point Reserve near La Ronge. Police say a minivan rolled on Jimmy Roberts Road. Officers have taken one man into custody. No charges have yet been laid. Police continue to investigate.
If you're headed on the highway this weekend, beware of a warning from police. Operation Impact will go into force starting today.
What's
RCMP will be
wrong?
out cracking down on impaired driving, drivers who
What's
don't
wrong
wear
with you?
seatbelts, and all aspects related to aggressive and
What's the
distracted
matter?
driving. Traffic units across the province are participating in
What's
the
the
national
matter with
campaign.
you?
Investigators from the Transportation Safety Board have left the scene of a major train derailment near Clare. They've yet to release any new information about what caused the 26 cars to leave the tracks. 2 Class 111 tankers carrying petroleum distillate, commonly known as Varsol, spilled, contaminating some of the soil near the tracks. Now, that's the same chemical found at the scene of the Lac Mégantic disaster. CN Rail confirmed the older model tankers had not yet received the recommended safety upgrades. They say those cars were owned by an independent shipping company, not CN. The rail company says they're required to carry those cars by law. Highway 5, meantime, has been reopened to traffic
Love my
for the
video.
public near
Love
Clare in
him.
both directions.
Love him.
Well, they made it to graduation under questionable circumstances. A handful of students were given passing grades without actually passing their courses. As Wayne Mantika found out, there is an explanation, but the powers that be want to make sure it's legitimate.
The 5 Regina students received grade 12 diplomas not knowing they were short 1 class for graduation. Ministry of Education officials say it can happen, and schools can apply for an exemption on behalf of students.
Usually it's a case of the student not being counseled into the right courses or transferring from one school to another where the availability of a particular course wasn't there.
The unnamed Regina High School granted its own exemption and used its access to the provincial computerized student record system to add passing credits. Ministry of Education staff caught the change and are now doing a province-wide review of grade 12 marks. It's targeting boosted grades and extra credits entered after the school year ended.
Doing a bit of a spot check on a broader scale at mark changes and mark additions, and in some other schools, other divisions, just as a just to cover our bases.
The ministry is also tightening school access to computerized records. Schools now have 4 months to go back and correct clerical errors. That will be shortened to 2 weeks. The Regina Board of Education says what happened here was inappropriate, and procedures are in place to make sure it isn't repeated. The Ministry of Education has reviewed the cases of the 5 students who passed, even though they were a class short. It says all 5 deserved a special exemption to begin with, and will keep their grade 12 diplomas. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
I got a chance to enjoy this last night. An annual female-only fundraiser is helping to provide assistance to women's shelters in our city. The 12th annual Divas Night Out was held last night at Casino Regina, featuring a silent auction and well-known comedians from LA and New York. All proceeds raised at the event will go towards the Isabel Johnson Shelter for Women and the YWCA Women's Transition House in years past. The event has raised more than $10,000 in one evening. And I have to say, the headlining comedian last night, she was hilarious. Stick around, we have a lot more coming up after the break.